Good morning to my dear children of Standard 6. Today we are going to study history, lesson number 10, Ancient India Cultural. Okay. Today we are going to study about language and literature, life of the people, science, centers of education, art and architecture. So let's begin with language and literature. There was an uninterrupted literary tradition in ancient India. This literature was produced in the Sanskrit, Ardhamangadi, Pali and Tamil languages. It includes religious literature, treatises on grammar, epic. Epic means a long struggle journey, story, play, etc. Sangam literature. Sangam means a gathering of learned men. Learned means educated men. The literature compiled in such gathering is known as Sangam literature. It is the most ancient literature in Tamil. Shilapadikaran and Manimakkalai are the two of its well-known epic. Which are the two epic? Shilpakadikaram and Manimakkalai. We learn about the political and social life in South India during the period. Religious literature. The important texts include Agaman Granth. Agaman means arrival. Tipitaka and Bhagavad Gita. They were the religious texts. The Jain Agama Granth are written in Prakrit language of Ardhamangadi, Shaurya Seni and Maharashtri. The Agam Granth are a collection of the teaching of Vardhaman Mahavir. Literally, work like Mahapuranas, biographies, stories are available in the Abhabrahma's language. Siddha Sen Divakar wrote Samosutha, a work in Prakrit and jurisprudence. Vimal Suri has told the story of Rama in Paumacharya. Who told the story of Rama in a Prakrit language? Paumacharya, a poetic work in Prakrit. Hari Bahadur Saris, a Samarachaka and Udyata Suri, Kavyala Malaka are well-known work of the writer Siddha Sen Divakar, and he wrote his work in the poetic which was written in Prakrit language. A poetic work in Prakrit, Haribha Suris, Samarai Chaka and Udyatan Suris, Kavyalam Malakha are the well-known work of Siddha Sen Divakar. Do you know? It is believed that most of the languages in the region from North India up to Maharashtra are derived from Prakrit and Sanskrit. The word Prakrit is derived from a word meaning natural. The Prakrit language were languages in daily use of the people. They can be divided into four groups, namely the Paishachi, Shaurya and Magadhi, and Maharashtri language. Marathi developed from Maharashtri. In this process of development of modern languages like Marathi from the Prakrit languages, their original form changed. They are called Abha-Brahmacha language. Modern languages have developed from Abha-Brahmacha languages. Tipitaka had three pitakas or parts. It has three parts. The word pitaka means a basket or collection. Here it means a section. The Tipikata is written in Pali. It consists of three categories of texts. Sutta Pitaka. It includes the text of Gautama Buddha, teaching of sermon. They are called suttas. Vinay Pitaka, the word Vinay here means rules. The Vinay Pitaka gives the rule of behavior which bhikkhus and bhikkhunis in the Bauddha Sangha should follow in the day-to-day life. Abhidhamma Pitaka in this Buddhist doctrine has been explained. A text titled Arthakatha which explains that the Pitakas is well-known, learned women compose gathas, narrates about their own experiences. They have been compiled in the Trigatha. They are in the Pali language. The Bhagavad Gita, which is a scare text of Hindu. Bhagavad Gita is a scare text of Hindu. It is a part of Mahabharata. The Bhagavad Gita tells us that each one of us should do our duties without expecting rewards. It also says that the path of devotion to God is open to all. Adi Shankaracharya lived during the 8th century. He emphasized knowledge and renunciation. He wrote commentaries explaining the Upanishad, Brahma Sutras and Bhagavad Gita. He established 4 muths in 4 directions of India and Badrinath, Dwarka, Jagannath Puri and Sringeri. Kautilya wrote the Arthashastra, in which he discussed at length what constitutes an excellent administrative system. Treatise on grammar. Ashtadhyayi, written by the grammarian Panini, is considered to be the standard work on Sanskrit grammar. Patanjali wrote Mahabhasya. It explains the principles given in Panini, Ashtadhyayi, Arsha and classical epic. Arthashastra. Do you know what do you mean by Arthashastra? This is the work by Kautilya. It consists of detailed discussions of administrative matters such as the duty of a king, criteria for selecting a minister, system of defense, types of fort, the formation of an army, plans for aspongians, organization of the treasuries and other offices, judicial system, investigations of theft, types of punishment. These all comes in Arthashastra. Okay children, now Arsha and classical epic. Ramayana and Mahabharata are the 2 Arshas epic of ancient India. Arsha epic of ancient India. Arsha means by rishis or sage. The Ramayana was composed by the Rishi Valmiki. Who composed Ramayana? Valmiki. The main characters of Ramayana is Shri Ram. Mahabharata has been composed by the sage Vyas. Who composed Mahabharata? Sage means Sadhu. Vyas. Its main theme is the war between the Kauravas and Pandavas. It also tells us about Lord Krishna's life. The Mahabharata provides a comprehensive picture of various human sentiments and emotions and their consequences. Sometimes there is such a period in the history of language, literature and art that its glory remain undiminished. Even later on, the art, literature, etc. produced in such a period is said to be a classical. Raghuvansha and Kumar Sambhava by Kalidasa, Kirtar Junia by Bhairavi and Shishupalavat by Magha are well-known compositions of ancient period written in classical Sanskrit. Theatre. India has an ancient tradition of telling a story through song, music and dance. This art has been discussed in the great detail in Natya Shastra by Bharat Muni. When the art are presented with supporting dialogues, they are known as theatre. Among the ancient Sanskrit play, Swapna, Vasa Vadatta by Bhasa, Abhijan Shakuntala by Kalidasa are famous. Okay, children. In the next chapter, we will study about narrative literature and life of the people. Till then, okay, you must have understood this much. Thank you.